I have been doing some research into what people in Britain think of doctors, the ones who work in general practice, the first call for medical care, and comparing this with the situation in corporate other countries. I wanted to talk about rationale behind what I decided to do. Now I had to set up my program of research in 3 different countries, so I approached postgraduates in my field in overseas departments, contacting them by email to organize things for me at the end. I thought I would have trouble recruiting help, but in fact, everyone was very willing, and sometimes the user got involved too. I had to give my helpers clear instructions about what kind of sample population I wanted them to use. I decided that people under 18 should be excluded because most of them are students or looking for their first job. And also, I decided at this stage that to focus on men who work in employment and set up something for people who didn't have jobs and for employment women later on as a separate investigation. I specifically wanted to do a questionnaire and interview with the focus group with the questionnaire rather than limiting it to one specific point. I wanted to include as a variety as possible. I know questionnaires are a very controlled way to do things, but I thought I could do step interviews later on to counteract the effect of this. And the focus group may also prove useful in future. By targeting subjects I can easily return to, as the participants tend to be more involved. So I'm just collecting the result now. At the moment, it looks as if in the UK, despite the fact the newspapers continually report that people are unhappy with medical care. In fact, it's mainly the third level of care which takes place in hospitals that they are worried about. Government reforms have been proposed at all levels, and thought that successful is not guaranteed. Long-term hospital care, in fact, are probably less of an issue than the media would have us believe. However, I still got quite a bit of data to look at. Certainly, I will need to do more reaching research than I had anticipated in order to establish if people want extra medical staff invested in the community, or they want to care to revert to fewer but larger medical units. The solution may well be something that can be easily implemented by the responsible in local government, with the central government support, of course. The first stage has proved very valuable tools. I was surprised by how willing most of the subjects were to get involved in the project. I had expected some unwillingness to answer questions honestly, but I was taken aback and rather conscious that something I thought I set up very well didn't necessarily seem that way to everyone in my own department. I thought you may also be interested in some of the problems I encountered in collecting my data. There were odd cases that threw me. One of the subjects who I had approached while his were out shopping in town decided to pull out when it came to the second round. It was the same as I was someone who I would like to have an interview more closely. And one of the first year students I interviewed wanted reassurance that no name would be traceable from the answer. I was so surprised because they think nothing of telling you about themselves and their opinion in similar groups. Then one of the people I worked with got a bit funny. The questions were quite personal, and 1 minute he said he'd do it, then next day he wouldn't, and the end he do it. It's hard not to get angry in that situation, but I try to keep focused on the overall picture in order to stay calm. The most bizarre case was a telephone interview I did with a teacher at university in France. He answered all my questions in great detail, but then when I asked how much upset he had to dangerous substances, he couldn't tell me exactly what he was involved. It really eye-opening.